In the early 1640s, the colony of New Netherland, centered around what is now New York, faced one of the most turbulent episodes in its early history. This conflict, known as Kieft's War, emerged not from a single incident, but from years of tension, misunderstandings, and poor leadership decisions. As the Dutch expanded their trading posts and settlements along the Hudson River, they entered a landscape shaped by long-standing Native American networks, particularly the Lenape and other Algonquian-speaking peoples. For the most part, trade between the Dutch and the native groups had been steady and mutually beneficial. However, Governor Willem Kieft's approach to governance would soon change the fragile balance. Willem Kieft became director of New Netherland in 1638, and from the beginning he demonstrated an authoritarian style that lacked practical understanding of local conditions. Unlike his predecessor, who worked to negotiate peacefully with native groups, Kieft believed strong control and taxation would assert Dutch authority more effectively. In 1639, he began discussing the idea of imposing a tax on the Native Americans, arguing that they benefited from Dutch protection and therefore should contribute financially. Native communities strongly rejected the suggestion. They neither asked for Dutch protection nor viewed the Dutch presence as an advantage. Kieft, however, interpreted their refusal as defiance. The immediate spark for the conflict appeared in 1640, when a member of the Raritan tribe was falsely accused of stealing pigs from a Dutch farm on Staten Island. In response, Kieft authorized a punitive expedition, even though evidence later showed the pigs had been taken by other colonists. The Dutch attack only escalated tensions, driving previously neutral native groups into a defensive posture. This event marked the beginning of several missteps that further deteriorated relations. By 1643, the situation reached a breaking point. A small group of native refugees, fleeing conflict with another tribe, sought temporary shelter near Pavonia and Corlaer's Hook, close to the Dutch settlements. These displaced families posed no threat, yet Kieft saw their presence as an opportunity to demonstrate Dutch control. Against the advice of his own council and many colonists, he ordered a surprise nighttime assault on both encampments. The attack resulted in the deaths of dozens of men, women, and children. Instead of securing Dutch authority, the killings unified several native groups against New Netherland. The following months saw widespread retaliation. Native warriors struck Dutch farms, trading posts, and isolated settlements throughout the region. Many colonists fled to the safety of Fort Amsterdam, leaving large parts of the colony abandoned. The Dutch, unprepared for a broad conflict, struggled to defend their communities. For the first time, settlers began to publicly question Kieft's judgment, believing his decisions had caused unnecessary suffering. Despite the violence, Kieft continued to resist negotiation, insisting that military pressure would force native groups to submit. However, as losses mounted, colonists demanded a more responsible approach. In 1644, the colony formed the Eight Men, an advisory council created to give settlers a voice in governance. This group openly criticized Kieft's leadership and sent a formal complaint to the Dutch West India Company in Amsterdam, documenting the mismanagement of the war and the harm done to the colony. By 1645, after 2 years of destruction, both sides sought relief from the conflict. Native groups were exhausted by the prolonged fighting, and Dutch settlers feared that continued war would destroy the colony completely. With the help of mediators, peace negotiations began, eventually resulting in a treaty that ended hostilities. The agreement brought stability, but the colony had suffered heavy losses in population, resources, and farmland. In the aftermath, Willem Kieft was recalled to the Netherlands to answer for his decisions. He never reached Amsterdam, his ship sank off the coast of Wales, and he died before facing inquiry. His replacement, Peter Stuyvesant, would inherit a colony weakened by years of mismanagement and distrust.